This is a recording of the truncated edition of Yom Kippur Musaf for High Holidays 2020. This will not include the insertions for Shabbat, as this year Yom Kippur is on a weekday. This will begin shortly after the recording for the Yizkor service. Since there will be no Torah reading, most likely, you will pick up only doing the one piece of the end of the Torah service that we do, which is Ashrei on page 295. You'll do that with the same melody you would do on Shabbat, except you'll do most of it silently. So you'll just sing, Ashrei Oshvei V'techa Ojalucha Selah. If you slow down at the end, you'll cue the congregation that you're not going to continue on. You do that silently until you get down to the arrow on the bottom of page 295, and you'll sing, Tilat Adonai Daber Pi, Vivarecho Basar Shem Chodsho Le'olam Va'ed, V'anachnu Nevarech Ya, Me'ata V'ad Olam, Hallelujah. Then you'll go immediately to the rest of the Musaf service. You begin with the Kaddish on page 298 to lead into the silent Amidah. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabbah B'alamad yivarach Rutei V'yamlich Malchutei B'chayechon u'vyomechon U'v'chayedecho Beit Yisrael Ba'agala u'vizman kariv V'yimeru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Le'olam le'omei omaya Yitbarach Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal Shemei dekudesha brichu le'ela le'ela Mikol birchata v'shirata tushbechata b'nechemata Damin ran be'alma v'yimeru Amen. Then you'll go into the silent Amidah. I forgot to mention, as always, my Hebrew is not perfect, so if you hear a difference in my singing from what you are looking at on the recording, on the paper, you should go with what's on the page instead of what I said. Okay, so after the silent Amidah, you're going to pick up with the repetition on page 313. You'll say the first two lines to yourself while taking 3 steps backward and 3 steps forward, and you'll pick up at the left-hand side of the page with the patriarchs and the matriarchs. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor VaHanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei HaKol V'Zocher Chastei Avot V'Imahot Umevi Goel Livnei B'Nehem Leman Shemo Be'ahava. Then you'll skip the next paragraph and pick up on the last 2 lines at Zochrenu. Zochrenu l'chaim, melech hafetz b'chaim, v'chodvenu b'sefer ha'chaim, l'mancha Elohim Chayim. Then you pick up on the top of the page on the version with patriarchs and matriarchs. Melech Ozer u'Moshiach Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham u'Foked Sarah. Then you continue and do the rest of the page out loud. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei metim atah rav lehoshia. Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayei metim berachamim rabim, Somech noflim v'rofech olim, Umatir asurim. Umekayem emunato lishenei afar. Mi chamocha bal givurot, umido melech. Melech meimitu mechayei, umatzmiach Yeshua. Mi chamocha ahav harachamim, Zocher Yitzurav Chayim Berachamim, Veneman atah Lachayot Meitim, Baruch atah Adonai Mechayei HaMeitim. Amen. Then you're going to skip pages 315 and 316, and you're going to pick up with the Kedusha on page 317. As on Shabbat, on the Kedusha, the congregation will sing first, and then you will repeat. So they'll start in at the beginning, and then when it's your turn, you will sing. Kesod siach sarfei kodesh, hamakdishim shimcha b'kodesh, Dare malayim dare mata, kakatu bayad neviecha, v'kara zel zeh ve'amar. And the congregation will sing with you. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzavaot, Melech kol haaretz kivodo. Wait for the congregation to do the next paragraph to themselves, and then you come back and repeat. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzavaot, Melech kol haaretz kivodo, kivodo, malei olam. Mesharetav shoalim ze lazeh, ayeh mikom kivodo, leumatam baruch yomeru, baruch kivod Adonai mimkomo, mimkomo, uyifen berachamim. B'yachon amam yachadim shemo, erev avoker v'chol yom tamid, pamayim b'yahava, shema omrim. Together you'll sing, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. You'll wait, and then you'll sing that again. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad, Hu Eloheinu, Hu Avinu, Hu Malkeinu, Hu Moshienu, Vehu Yashmienu, Yashmienu Barachamav, Barachamav Sheinit, Lienei Kol Chai, Vehu Yashmienu Barachamav, Barachamav Sheinit, 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 Lienei Kol Chai, Liot Lachem Lelohim. The congregation will sing the next line and the rest, and then you will repeat. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adir Adireinu, Adonai Adoneinu, Madir Shimcha b'chol haaretz, v'hayeh Adonai lemelech kol haaretz, bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad, u'shmo echad. Uvdivrei kodshecha katuv lemor, You'll sing together. Yimloch Adonai le'olam, Elohai Tzion, Ledor vador, Hallelujah. And this time you don't wait before you go on. There's no repeat. Ledor vador, Nagid Godlecha, Ulenetzach netzachim kedushatcha nagdish. V'shivchacha Eloheinu, mipinu lo yamush leolam va'ed, ki el melech gadol, v'kadosh ata. Okay, then you're going to skip until page 321. And you're going to pick up after you've got the Zayin paragraph and then the Tuskav paragraph. You're going to pick up at Uvechein, the first of 3 Uvechein paragraphs. Uvechein ten partecha Adonai Eloheinu al kol masecha ve'ematecha al kol ma shebarata. V'yiraucha kol ha'masim, v'yishtachavu lefanecha kol habaruhim, v'yasu chulam agudah echad, lasod ritzonecha belevav shalem. Kemo she'adanu Adonai Eloheinu, shehashilton lefanecha, oz biadecha, ugvira biminecha, V'shimcha nora al kol ma shebarata. Uvechein ten kavod Adonai le'amecha tihila, lirecha v'tikva, ledorashecha ufitchon peh, lam yachalim lach simcha le'artzecha, v'sason lirecha. Utzmichat keren leDavid avtecha, v'richat ner leven Yishai mishichecha, b'meira b'yameinu. Uvechein tzadikim yiru v'yizmachu v'yisharim, yahalotu v'chasidim berina yagilu, Violata tikpoz piha v'chol harisha kula, kershan tichle, ki tavir memshelet zadon min haaretz. Then you're going to skip to the bottom of page 322. After the piyut, you're going to do that last paragraph at the bottom. V'timloch ata Adonai le'avdecha al kol ma'asecha, v'harti ha'on mishkan kavodecha, u'b'Yerushalayim ir kodshecha, ka'katuv b'divrei kodshecha. Yimloch Adonai le'olam, Elohai Tzion ledor vador, Hallelujah. You continue at the top of page 323. Kadosh ata v'nora shemecha, v'yein lo mibaladecha, kakatuv vayikba Adonai tzvaot b'mishpat, v'ha'el hakadosh nihikdash b'tzdaka, baruch atah Adonai, hamelech hakadosh. Ata v'chartanu mikol ha'amim, Avta otanu v'ratzita banu v'romamatanu mikol halashonot, v'kidashtanu b'mitzvotecha, v'keravtanu malkeinu levodatecha, v'shimcha hagadol v'hakadosh aleinu karata. V'titen lanu Adonai Eloheinu b'ahava et Yom HaKippurim hazeh, Limlicha v'lislicha uchapara, v'limchol bo et kol avonoteinu, mikra hakodesh, zecher litzliat Mitzrayim. Then you continue, middle of the page.
ומפני חטאינו גלינו מארצנו, ונתרחקנו מעל אדמתנו, ואין אנחנו יכולים לעשות חובותינו בבית בחירתך. בבית הגדול והקדוש שנקרא שמך עליו, מפני היד שנשתלך במקדש שלך. יהי רצון מלפניך אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, מלך רחמן, שתשוב ותרחם עלינו ועל ארצך ברחמך הרבים, ותבנהו מהרה ותגדל כבודו. אבינו מלכנו, גלה כבוד מלכותך עלינו מהרה, והופע והינשא עלינו לעיני כל חי. וקרב פזורינו מן בין הגויים, ונפוצותינו כנס מירכתי הארץ. והביאנו לציון עירך ברינה ולירושלים בית מקדשך בשמחת עולם, ששם עשו אבותינו לפניך את קורבנות חובותינו תמידים כסדרם ומוספים כהלכתם. ואת מוסף יום הכיפורים הזה עשו והקרבו לפניך באהבה כמצוות רצונך, ככתוב בתורתך על ידי משה עבדך, מפי כבודך כאמור. Then you continue on page 324. You're going to skip the first paragraph, which is for Shabbat only, and pick up at the second paragraph. ובעשור לחודש השביעי הזה מקרא קודש יהיה לכם, ועיניתם את נפשותיכם, כל מלאכה לא תעשו. והקרבתם עולה לאדוני ריח ניחוח, פר בן בקר אחד, עיל אחד. כבשים בני שנה 7 תמימים יהיו לכם. ומנחתם ונזקיהם כמדובר, 13 לפר, 12 לעיל, ועשרון לכבש, ויין כנזקו 2 סירים לכפר, ו2 תמידים כהלכתם. Then you'll do the prayer for Jewry in distress. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu, rachem alachenu, Beit Yisrael hatnunim b'tzara, v'otzihem me'afei lehora, v'kabel barachamim, et tfilat amcha b'nei Yisrael, b'chol mekomot moshvotehem, הפשופכים את ליבם לפניך ביום הכיפורים הזה. Then you're going to go from there to the top of page 325. Again, you skip the first paragraph because it's only for Shabbat, and you'll pick up at Aleinu. If you're going to prostrate yourself, remember you're going to fall to your knees when you get to Korarim. You're going to bow all the way down on Umishtachavim, and then you should either be fully prostrate or have your head on the floor at Umodim. Stay down for a beat at that point, and then you're going to stand up on Lifnei Melech. So from the beginning, Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol. Excuse me. Latet gedola leyotze bereshit shelo asanu kigoye haratzot velo samanu kamishpachot hadama shelo sam chelkeinu kahem vegor aleinu kechol hamonam Vanachnu korarim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. And then you're going to continue silently until a node at the end of that paragraph. And then you're going to pick up at the next paragraph, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu. Despite what it says at the Machzor, you're going to do this solo. Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu, Heyehim pfiot shluchei Amcha Beit Yisrael, Hamadin levakesh tefillah v'tachanuni milfanecha al Amcha Beit Yisrael. Horem ma sheyomaru, vavinem ma sheyidaberu, hashivem ma sheyishalu, yadehem ech yefaheru, vehor panecha yahalechun, berech lecha yichruhun, amcha befihem yivarechun, umi birchot picha, Kulam yitbarechun. Then you do the last paragraph, Ochila Lael. Ochila Lael, achalefanav, eshala mimenu manelashon, asher bikalam ashira uzo, abiarin anot biad mifalav. L'adam archilev, u'me'adonai maseh lashon. Adonai sevatai tiftach, u'fi yagid tehilatecha, yiyu l'ratzon imrei fi. Ve'yon libi levanecha, Adonai tzuri v'goali. We are now going to skip all the way to page 336. There will be no Avoda service in the truncated version. On the top of page 336, you're going to start and then do the paragraph silently. Then you continue silently until 8 lines from the top to Avor al Pesha. Tavor al Pesha v'timche Hasham, Ki yom v'yityatse v'imosham, Tazin shavatenu v'takshiv, Menumar keyom, Vayikra v'shem Adonai. Take a pause there. Bavur Adonai al panav, Vayikra Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum v'chanun, Erech Apayim, V'rav Chesed V'emet, Noter Chesed Lahofim, Noseh Avon V'afesha, V'chatan V'nakeh. Then you're going to skip the piyut in the middle there, and skip down to 3 lines from the bottom, and you're going to sing, V'salach talavonenu uchatatenu uchatanu. Salach lanu avinu kichatanu, mechal lanu malkenu kifashanu, ki ata Adonai tov v'salach, v'rav chesed l'kol korecha. Then you're going to skip ahead. We're not going to do the martyrology. And you're going to skip ahead to page 346 for Shema Kolenu. With Shema Kolenu, you're going to sing each line and the congregation is going to repeat it after you. So wait for them. Shema Kolenu Adonai Eloheinu Chus v'rachem aleinu v'kabel b'rachamim u'ratzon et tfilateinu. Congregation repeats. Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Kaddish yameinu kekedem. Congregation repeats. Al tashlichenu milfanecha Veruach kodshecha al tikach mimenu. Congregation repeats. Al tashlichenu li'etzikna kichlot kocheinu al tazveinu. Congregation will repeat, and then you will say quietly the first line of the next paragraph. Al tazveinu Adonai Eloheinu Al tirchach mimenu. Then you're going to daven silently until the end of the paragraph, and you'll pick up Eloheinu v'Eloi Avotenu. Then you'll daven until the end of the paragraph and pick up with Leman Shimcha Adonai v'selachti lavoni ki ravhu. On page 347, you're going to skip the piyut at the top of the page and go down to where it says vidui and do those last 4 lines at the bottom. Anu azefanim be'ata rachum v'chanun Anu kisheoref yata erech apayim Anu malei avon v'yata malei rachamim Anu yameinu ketzel over v'yata hu shnotecha lo yitamu. Then you're going to continue on the top of page 348. Eloheinu v'Eloi Avotenu tavo lefanecha Tefilatenu v'al titalam mitechiyanateinu she'en anachnu azefanim ukshe'oraf lomar lefanecha Adonai Eloheinu Eloi Avotenu Tzadikim anachnu v'lo chatanu, aval anachnu b'avoteinu chatanu. In order to shorten this, you can just do the Ashamnu Bagadnu parts, but chances are the congregation is going to want to sing the ay-ay-ay's, so it sounds like this. Ay-ay-ay-ay-ay-ay-ay-ay-ay-ay-ay-ay Ashamnu, Bagadnu, Gazalnu, Dibarnu Dofi, ay 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 Hevinu, Vahirshanu, Zadnu, Chamasnu, Tafalnu Sheker, ay 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 Yatnura, Kizavnu, Latnu, Maradnu, Niatnu, Sararnu, Avinu, Pasharnu, Tsararnu, Kishinu Orev. Ay 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 Rashanu, Shichatnu, Tiavnu, Tainu, Titanu. And you continue. Sarnu mitzvotecha mishpatecha hatovim velo shavalanu v'ata tzadik al kol habaleinu ki emet asita v'anachnu hirshanu. Okay, then you're going to skip 349 and 350 and pick up with Al Chet on page 351. When you do Al Chet, you're going to sing quietly the first line of each section and then pick up with the last two lines before the chorus and lead the congregation into the chorus. So you'll sing Al Chet shekatanu lefanecha behonas veratzon, and then sing silently to yourself, and then pick up at the arrow at the end of the first section. Al chet shechatanu lefanecha beyetzer hara, ve'al chet shechatanu lefanecha biyodeim uvelo yodeim. And then everyone will sing together. Me'al kulam elo aselichot, salach lanu mechalanu kaper lanu. Then you continue quietly. Al chet shechatanu lefanecha v'chachashuv chazav. Silently until the arrow on page 352 at the end of the second section. Al chet shechatanu lefanecha be'einayim ramot, ve'al chet shechatanu lefanecha be'azut metzach. Together. Me'al kulam elo aselichot, salach lanu mechalanu kaper lanu. Al chet shechatanu lefanecha bihifrikat ol. Then you'll continue with the chatima. When you do the chorus, you can, in the interest of time, you should probably just do the same chorus that you've done before. But if the congregation wants to go up and do the second higher part, you can go with them. I'm just going to sing the basic one. Al chet shechatanu lefanecha b'hitzumet yad, ve'al chet shechatanu lefanecha b'timhon levav, ve'al kulam elo aselichot, salach lanu mechalanu kaper lanu. You'll say this bottom paragraph in an undertone and then silently. Ha-mitzvot tatzeh v'ha-mitzvot lo taseh. And then you'll pick up on the top of page 354. V'ata rachum mekabel shavim, v'alhu tshuva merosh yivtachtanu, v'alhu tshuva einenu meyachalot lach. Eloheinu v'Elokei avotenu, mechal avonotenu b'yom ha-kippurim hazeh, meche v'haver peshainu v'chatotenu mineged einecha kamur. Anochi, Anochi, hu mocheh peshaecha lemani, v'chatotecha lo ezkor v'nehemar, machiticha peshaecha, v'chanan chatotecha, shuva elai ki gahalticha v'nehemar. Ki vayom hazeh yechaper alechem, letaher etchem, mikol chatotechem, lifnei Adonai titaru. Eloheinu v'le'avotenu, Kaddishenu b'mitzvotecha, v'tinchalkeinu b'toratecha, sameinu mituvecha, v'samchenu b'shuatecha, v'taher libeinu liovtecha behamet. Ki ata sochan liYisrael, u'mocholan l'shivtei Yeshurun b'chol dovador. Umibaladecha en lanu melech mochel v'soleach en lata baruch atah Adonai melech mochel v'soleach lavonotenu v'lavonot amo beit Yisrael umavir ashmotenu b'chol shana v'shana melech al kol haaretz mekadesh Yisrael Melech HaKol Haaretz Mekadesh Yisrael B'Yom HaKippurim. Amen. You continue on the top of page 355. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu b'Amcha Yisrael tfilatam v'ashev et havodah lidviretecha v'yishei Yisrael tfilatam b'ahava t'tkabel beratzon u'thi leratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha v'techezena hinenu bishu v'cha l'tzion b'rachamim Baruch atah Adonai Hamachazir Shechinato Letzion. Amen. Modim anachnu lach. You're going to do the Modim paragraph on the right side where it says leader recites. After you do that first three words, you're going to be silent until you get down to the arrow. Hatov kilo chalu rachamecha v'hamrachem kilo tamu chasadecha me'olam kivinu lach. You continue on the top of page 356. V'al kulam yitbarach v'yit romam shimcha malkeinu tamid li'olam vahed. Avinu malkeinu zechor rachamecha uchvosh kascha Vecha ledever v'cherev v'rahav u'shvi u'shmachit uvon u'shmad u'magefa ufegara v'chol machala v'chol techala v'chol chitata v'chol minei foroniot v'chol gezara raha v'sinat chinam me'aleinu U'me'al kol b'nei b'ritecha U'chtov l'chaim tovim kol b'nei b'ritecha V'chol ha'chaim yoducha sela V'halelu et shimcha be'emet Ha'el Yeshuatenu v'ezratenu sela Baruch atah Adonai Hatov Shimcha Uchanai Lehodot. Amen. You're going to skip the duchening on the second half of the page and pick up on the top of page 357. When you get to the Trifold Blessing, you're going to bow left on the first line, right on the second line, and to the middle for the third. Eloheinu v'lei avoteinu, barchenu b'bracha hamshuleshet b'torah haktuva, al yedei Moshe avdecha, hamura mipi Aharon uvanav kohanim, am kedoshecha kamur. Yivarecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Congregation will sing, Ken yehi ratzon. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha, Ken yehi ratzon. Yisa Adonai panav elecha, v'yasem lecha shalom, Ken yehi ratzon. Sim shalom b'alam tuva uvracha, Chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael hamecha. Barchenu avinu kulanu ke'echad bi'or panecha, ki be'or panecha natata lanu, Adonai Eloheinu. Torat chaim, be'avad chesed, u'tzedaka v'racha, rachamim v'chaim v'shalom. V'tov peinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol heit v'chol shah b'shlomecha. Then you sing B'Sefer Chaim. B'Sefer Chaim b'racha v'shalom, B'Sefer Chaim b'racha v'shalom, U'farnes atova nizacher v'nikatev, B'Sefer Chaim b'racha v'shalom. Lefanecha anachnu, v'chol amcha b'it Yisrael, L'chaim tovim u'l'shalom, B'Sefer Chaim b'racha v'shalom. And then you continue at the bottom after the song with V'nemar Ki v'yirbu yamecha V'yosifu lecha shnot chayim Chayim tovim Tiktevenu Elohim Chayim Kodvenu b'sefer hachayim kakatuv Ve'atem hadvekim Ve'atem hadvekim Ve'atem hadvekim B'Adonai Elohechem Chayim chulchem hayom. You will skip the piyut on the top of page 358. And you will start silently on the bottom, Ki hayom hazeh, and you'll pick up 3 lines from the bottom at Utzdaka. Utzdaka racha rachamim v'chayim v'shalom Yeh lanu l'chol Yisrael ad haolam Baruch atah Adonai oseh hashalom. And then you will finish with Kaddish on page 359. Most common Kaddish here is what most people call the Hasidic Kaddish, although that's probably a misnomer. And it sounds like this. Yitgadal v'yikadash shemei rabba, amen. B'alma divrach irute v'yamlich malchute, v'chayechon uvyom echon, v'chayedecho beit Yisrael, b'hagala uvizman kariv v'himeru, v'himeru, amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevorach, Le'olam lehol me'almaya yitbarach. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitbar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yittadar v'yittaleh v'yittalal Shemei dekudesha Shemei dekudesha brichu le'ela ule'ela min kol birchata v'shirata dushbechata benechemata damin rambe alema dushbechata benechemata Dami rambe alema v'himeru, amen. Titgabal tzlot honu va'urchon b'chol Yisrael kodam avon v'yishmaya v'yimeru, amen, amen. Shlama rabba min shamaya v'chayim aleinu al kol Yisrael v'himeru, amen. Oseh shalom bimramav, yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'himeru, amen. And that's the end of Musaf.